nervous for some reason. Well, when Can Mandan first started back in 2011, it was very humble beginnings. It was coming after a stretch of, I don't know, growing up in poverty, I guess. Because when I started Can Mandan, I must have been, I want to say 23, back in 2011. I just started it. I had no idea where it was going to go. I had no idea how successful it was going to be. It was literally just this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kid trying to make some change, trying to do some good, trying to make a difference, and trying to give back to a community who supported him, you know? Growing up obviously wasn't, you know, the easiest. We had a lot of difficulties, we had a lot of hardships. For instance, like my dad abandoned us when I was a baby. My mom found herself in some pretty abusive relationships when I was growing up. Unfortunately, there was a lot of drugs and alcohol in the home because, you know, we are Aboriginal, so there's a lot of trauma in our lineage. And yeah, I just remember growing up was not always easy, but we somehow made it through. And I just remember there was some nights, you know, when we legitimately could not afford food. We ran out of money. I remember sometimes the power company would come shut off our power. And I remember my mom pleading with the power company as the technician would come out, and she'd be, please, please, please don't turn it off. And of course they would always just turn it off because it was their duty, right? So it was just tough. It was just tough. The first 18 years of my life was really, really a rocky road. And that has nothing to do with my mom's parenting. It just, we drew, unfortunately, a crappy hand. Life growing up was, like I said, it wasn't always easy. You know, I was bullied a lot at school because, you know, I was Aboriginal. I was the poor kid. And even though my mom, like, did her best to, I don't know, you just know kids. Sometimes kids can be very cruel and they say ridiculous things, and it was through that uphill battle that I was able to gain the endurance and gain the perseverance and have some semblance of understanding of how life actually is. Because there's a lot of families out there who are not blessed. There's a lot of families out there who do not have, you know, dual incomes coming in. There's a lot of families out there who can't even afford the bare necessities, right? So to me, that's reality. I just remember thinking that, you know, one day my life's going to be okay. I'm going to grow up and take care of my mother, but I'm also going to help other people. And that's kind of what I did. I started Can Mandan, that whole initiative, early in my 20s. I was just a young pup and, like I said, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and ready to take on the world and just give some hope and just give some encouragement to the people who were in the same position that I was growing up, right? That was kind of always my heart behind it, right? Knowing what I know now, like obviously I was carrying around a lot of childhood trauma. I think Can Mandan was born out of childhood trauma. I think the millions of dollars that he raised was out of childhood trauma, but in a weird way, that childhood trauma made me into the man that I am today. So yeah, I mean, my activism, my Can Mandan career started in June 2011. I remember being in a position where I was now able to give back. I was set financially. I was helping my family out. We were doing okay. For once in our lives, we were doing okay. And I remember just saying, okay, now that I'm settled, now that I'm happy, now that I'm a young man, it's time to give back. And if you know me, you know my thoughts on community. You know my thoughts on social responsibility. It's always just been ingrained into me. I think it comes from Mom. It's just doing the right thing. You help other people. Just because, again, growing up, I seen firsthand how unfair life can be. And I knew that unfairness didn't stop at me and my family. And I knew that there was a lot of families out there who really, really needed my help. So I literally started out Can Mandan by going door to door in my neighborhood. I would legit just go door to door and I would knock, ring the doorbell, and I would say, hey, my name is, Dan, and I'm just collecting for the Edmonton Food Bank today, or like a soup kitchen or a homeless shelter or a youth shelter. I would just pick these, different random charities. and just collect as much food as I could, or clothing, or whatever it was at the time, and just drive it there and drop it off. And I remember this just being like an instant success in a weird way. People were excited to give. Nobody really questioned my credentials. I guess I just had a face that you can trust. And after doing this door-to-door initiative for so long, I'd bring my friends along, I'd bring my families along, complete strangers wanted to join me. And it just kind of grew into this like little group, this little society of people who would get together, do some good, and then go drop off all this food or money or whatever it was to a worthy cause. I just remember like it was just kind of snowballing. Like I could see the machine working, if that makes sense. After a summer and fall of collecting, thousands of items by this point, I decided to do something crazy. I remember December coming up, Christmas time coming up, and I remember reading a news story that Edmonton's Food Bank at the time was really struggling for donations. And I said, well, I could probably help. So this moving company coincidentally contacts me one night, and they say, hey, listen, we hear what you're doing, we love what you're doing, we want to support you, and we have all these trucks that you can use if you ever need them, right? So I remember it being Christmas, I remember it being cold, I now had this big truck that I could use, and I said, why not just go sleep in the truck, fill it up, and then we can give everything to the food bank. I guess you can say the rest is history, right? Because that first year was like just magical. It was my first big event because I've only been doing door-to-door at this time, and I remember thinking like, I hope people come, I'm so nervous, I hope I don't just go out there and freeze for no reason. And again, I remember I had no credentials at this time. I didn't have, the Wikipedia page, I didn't have the following, I didn't have all the news articles. It was just, some kid who was like, hey, can I camp out in your parking lot in this big truck and fill up, this truck full of food for the food bank. And that first year was so cold. I was so unprepared. I didn't have a bed. I didn't have a chair. I didn't have warm clothing. I didn't have the proper equipment. And I went out there and I literally froze my buns off. It was bad. That year, the first year, we raised about $13,000 for Edmonton's Food Bank, and we raised, I think it was like 3,000 or 4,000 pounds, maybe 5,000 pounds. It was pretty substantial. Yeah, I just couldn't believe that people would come donate to me and come see me. It was just nuts. Like it happened so fast. Like I got the truck, I got the store, I was camping out, the news is in my face, all these cameras and all these reporters and stuff, and it was just like lightning in a bottle. It was at that time when I was like, okay, I think we got something here, right? Like something is clicking, and it's all for good. As we moved into year 2 and 3, I started to do some other different initiatives. Like back to school was always a big thing for me and my family because, single mom, 2 boys. Back to school was a nightmare because you had to buy clothes, you had to buy school supplies, and if we did that, guess what? We couldn't afford food, or we couldn't afford to pay the bills, right? So we had to make a lot of sacrifices in one department, right? So I just remember my mom being always just stressed beyond belief at Christmas, stressed beyond belief at back to school. Because remember, holidays were a luxury for us at any point growing up, right? Like if we got to celebrate a holiday, it was pretty good. But there was a lot of Christmases when we didn't have anything. We'd come down to a tree with nothing under it. So yeah, then as time progressed, I started doing other community events like the We're Here For You Day. Which became somehow, we went from year 1, helping between 100 to 200 people at back to school. Fast forward, 10, 12 years, and then we were helping, 2,000 people. So yeah, just to see my work, my events, everything just kind of blowing up, like it was like, again, I just remember saying to myself all the time, like, we have something here, we have something here. So yeah, and then I remember doing like so much just positive good stuff, and then I came up with the slogan one day, "Can't stop the good," and that was kind of like our motto, my motto from here on out, because I quickly adopted this theory that if your heart's in the right place, and if you're looking to make a difference, if you're looking to help somebody out, the universe will just work itself out and make it possible somehow. I just remember thinking to myself, like, literally, the good can't stop, and I just said, that's it. That's my motto. You can't stop the good. So as I continued on my Can-Man Dan journey, I remember reaching my first million in resources or funding that I've raised for charities and worthy causes and families and kids in need. I remember thinking, wow, there is something seriously good here, and I just wanted to keep going. I wanted to see how far I could push myself. I wanted to see how far I could push goodness, and I wanted to see how far I could push Edmonton to see just what we can do collectively for people in need. Pretty soon I was at $2 million raised, and then $3 million raised, and then $4 million raised, and $5 million raised, and $6 million raised, and $7 million raised. It was seriously nuts. And again, I'm just one person. I'm a guy who barely passed grade 12. I graduated by the skin of my teeth. I grew up poor. I didn't have any fancy names in my Rolodex. I didn't have this big, trust fund. I didn't have all this wealth. I was one Aboriginal poor kid who grew up, started something so simple, going door to door. And then it just kind of ballooned into an initiative, a cause. It ballooned into this force of good that just could not be stopped. Yeah, so then over the years, I've had the great privilege and the great honor, and I mean that with all sincerity, of helping literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people in the last 15 years. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts for me to say it. It's nuts for me to think about it. I can't believe we're even having this interview. I can't believe that me, a guy, was able to mobilize a community, mobilize people, mobilize a cause, and do something about it. Like, this is not chump change that we're raising. Like, this is millions of dollars in resources and funding that were like literally changing people's lives. And so whether it's helping a low-income family send their kids to school with everything they need, whether it's helping Edmonton's food bank feed literally 40,000 people a month, whether it's helping families access toys and have the ability to celebrate Christmas and give all these underprivileged children gifts to open on Christmas Day, or whether it's advocating for the homeless or helping feed and clothe and shelter the homeless. I mean, these are all things that I get to do. These are all things that society has gifted me the pleasure of doing, if that makes sense. As somebody who has been literally fired from every single job they've had, or laid off, same diff. Seriously, for someone just so unremarkable like me to be able to do something so great is proof that you can't stop the good. If it's in you, the universe will find a way. Life will find a way to produce good. And sincerely, I cannot be more grateful. I cannot be more thankful that y'all let me do this, and not even do it for 1 or 2 years, but for 15 years. That's unbelievable. I mean, people all the time like to give me thanks, like to give me credit, like to say, oh, you're so wonderful, you're so great, and you're a pioneer, you're a hero. But remember, I couldn't do what I do without people to help, without people to see my vision, without people to donate to the causes. So as far as I'm concerned, like this is everyone's victory. This is not just my victory. This is not just my 15-year anniversary. This is everyone's 15th anniversary because we did it. We have created something that is just beyond words. So I just want to tell people of Edmonton, the people of Alberta, anybody who has ever donated to me or, stumbled across my path, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do this for 15 years. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for making me feel like somebody. Because remember, growing up, I was the poor kid. I didn't have a lot of friends. My home life wasn't that great all the time. But you guys have you have gifted me an opportunity to feel relevant, to feel helpful, to feel like I'm contributing to society. You have gifted me, I want to say, purpose. I mean that with every sense of the word, and I just can't thank you guys enough for believing in me. And I hope that, I don't know how much longer I have to go, but I hope it's another 15 years, maybe it's another 30 years. But I hope that you don't stop believing in me. I hope that you don't stop teaming up and partnering with me. And I hope that we're able to help more people than ever before. If you have a heart for good, if you have a vision, if you have a goal, if you have something you want to accomplish, go do it. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. And I know everybody says that, but you don't understand just how unremarkable I am. And I'm saying this with all sincerity. I'm not trying to make this a pity party or get you to sympathize with me, but no. I just want you guys to know, again, I'm not all that. Because at the end of the day, we get one crack at this. We get one crack at life, and I want people to look back and say, he might not have been, a rich man. He might not have been an educated man. He might not have been a good-looking man. But man, did he have heart, and did he have spirit. That's how I want people to remember me, is a guy who cared about others. A guy who cared about his community. And honestly, I don't know if there's a better feeling in the entire world than putting a smile on the face of somebody else. Whether that's somebody you know, or whether it's a complete stranger, but being able to reach into their lives, touch their heart, and create a smile on their face, to me that's magic, baby. That's what life's about. That's what I'm all about. That's what I wanted to do when I was a kid. That's what I'm doing now. And that's what I want to do for the next 15 years of my life, is create smiles and create memories and just show the world that there's more out there. In a world that loves to take from you, I want to show you that there's people out there who just give and care. There's people like me all over the world ready to help. And maybe you're watching this and you're saying, I want to be that person that helps. Well, get to work. I just showed you that you can't stop the good. I just showed you that anything is possible if you believe. And if you have a vision for good, if you have an idea, if you want to be a hope creator, now's your chance, because there's no shortage of people to help. Trust me when I say this, you're going to love the journey. You're going to love the journey. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And here's to another 15 years.